Ay, ay, ay.
Vanessa, get off my back. Vanessa, get off my back. This is the update. This is the update, the weekly update. As you can see, it is not much going on in Sosúa. As you can see, it is not much going on in Sosúa. Nothing has changed over the past few weeks, right? I believe that most people that are online believe that Sosúa is done, and or it's going to be a while before Sosúa gets back to Sosúa, to the Sosúa that we all love and enjoy. But for those that thought this was temporary, I had someone in the comments said that they were still going. You're going to have to hold this L. You're going to have to hold this L because thinking that what they did was going to result in an immediate transformation back to where it was before was a deceitful thought process. You were fooling yourself. They didn't invest the time, the energy, the money, the resources, the police power to go down there to Sosúa, right? Cause havoc, right? For the passport bros, for the travelers, for the men, for the families, for the children, for the businesses, just for Sosúa to get back to where it was the day before, the week before, right? They invested a lot of stuff, a lot of resources, but most importantly, they publicized it. They got on the news. They said we did this to Sosúa. Sosúa's going to be this. Sosúa's going to be that. This is what they did, right? So once you start broadcasting the positive changes that you suggest for Sosúa and the positive changes that you have made for Sosúa, you aren't trying to see those changes be reversed, right? You aren't trying to see those changes fall on deaf ears. So, it is what it is. Sosúa is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Do I think that Sosúa will ever be back to where it was before? I don't know, right? I do not know. But I do say that if I had a thought of going to Sosúa, right, after seeing this video that I posted, that thought will be erased from my mind, right? And if you have a thought of going to Sosúa, that thought should also be erased from your mind because Sosúa has changed, right? And some people could say it's changed for the better, and that might be a possibility. Right? Because let's be honest, guys and gals, men and women, passport bros, travelers, some people don't go to Sosúa for what Sosúa is known for. Some people go to Sosúa to relax. Some people go there for the vacation. Some people go there for the beach, the water, relaxation. And I've said and I will continue to preach, there is more to Sosúa than what a lot of people know it for. There is. Would I go to Sosúa now? No. I just feel, as someone mentioned, right? People are going to be on dating apps. But let's be honest, guys. Let's pretend I'm a woman for a second, right? Let's pretend I'm a woman and I'm going to Sosúa and I live in Sosúa, and I'm there 7 days a week prior to this. I know that the tourists aren't coming. I know there's going to be a decline in tourism. If I'm a woman, although I'm not, if I'm a woman and I know that the tourists see what's going on, the people in power got on the news and it's all international news stations that things have changed. If I am a woman, I am not sitting in Sosúa on Tinder or Bumble or any of these other apps, Dominican Cupid, hoping that a tourist comes there. If I am a woman, which I am not sitting in my room in Sosúa hoping that some passport bro or some man comes there and swipes right on me on Tinder. If I am a woman, which I am not, I'm going somewhere else. And I've continued to preach this. I am going somewhere else, whether it's Punta Cana, because Punta Cana looks real live. But the catch to Punta Cana is there's a lot of tourists, right? I don't like being around a lot of tourists, even though Sosúa has a lot of tourists. Punta Cana, if you look at some of these other guys' videos on Punta Cana, it's a lot of couples, right? If I wanted to be around couples, I'll be in the States, right? It's a lot of tourists in Punta Cana. But if I am a woman, which I'm not, I'm leaving Sosúa. And as I've said, I'm going somewhere else, whether it's Punta Cana, right? Whether it's Santiago, Santo Domingo, right? But let's be honest. Let's be honest with each other. No matter where a woman goes in the Dominican Republic, it's not going to hit like Sosúa. No other city in Sosúa, no other city in the Dominican Republic is going to hit like Sosúa is. No other city in the Dominican Republic It's going to hit like Sosúa is. So women are going to lose money. Women are going to lose money, right? And if we look at this video right here, this we just took the other day, right? This week, it's dead. It's like a ghost town. Of course, this woman needs a new phone. Look like she took this phone on a microwave, right? Look like she took this phone on a two-way pager. Of course, the video quality is not bad, but the concept is the same. There are no people in Sosúa. This is the worst video I've ever seen in my life, but there's no people in Sosúa. Even during the daytime, no, during the daytime, you're going to see people. At night, you're going to see more, but during the daytime, you're going to see people, right? You can walk around in the daytime and count people to the left, to the right, eating, walking around, drinking at bars, at restaurants, just passing through, passing by. You're going to see people. And as you can see from this, there's that sports bar. There is no one there. That guy that was flicking me off the other day, he's not there. The sports bar is dead. And as I've said, and I will continue to say, the sports bar was probably the most liveliest place in Sosúa. All the other destinations in Sosúa where people go, people have a good time, people go sit and drink, Presidente. Of course, your passport bros, you need to be aware that Sosúa is not what it used to be. And I do not suggest you, look at these restaurants, they're losing money. I do not suggest you go to Sosúa, right? I do not. If you're going for what I think you're going for, passport bros, men, travelers, single men, men that are taking breaks from their relationship, men that are cheating on their wives, if you're going to Sosúa for what I think you're going for, you might want to reconsider, all right? You might want to reconsider because it's not looking good. You could experience better nightlife, better activities, better entertainment in the States. You don't have to get on a plane, come to the DR, go through immigration, catch a taxi to an Airbnb or a hotel or a hostel, and go out and see something like this. You don't have to get on that plane, go to the airport, get a taxi, and come and see something like this. Is depressing. It is. Yes, can you go to the beach? Yes, but there's beaches in America. There's beaches in America. There's a beach in a lot of these border states, right? You don't have to go to Sosúa for this. Here's my suggestion, right? One, don't go to Sosúa, right? But two, explore and enjoy the nightlife in the country you're from. A lot of people are from the States, right? Go to Miami. Go listen. Listen to me for a second. I went to Miami with this woman, right? And I'm trying not to turn my head left and right. I'm trying not to. Miami is a hot spot for beautiful women, right? And I'm going to put emphasis on beautiful. Miami is a hot spot for beautiful Latinas. I'm going to tell you where the best looking Hispanics, Latinas, whatever you want to call it, are in the world, right? New York and Miami, right? And I'm going to do a story one day on my ex-wife. She was from the Dominican Republic. I'm going to tell you where 99.9% of Dominicans go when they leave the Dominican Republic. Whether it's tourism, whether they got married, whatever the case may be. 99.9% of Dominicans that leave the Dominican Republic go where? I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about. What state do they go to? 99.9% of Dominicans that go to the States, where do they go to? I'm waiting. They go to New York. They go to New York. Every Dominican that I know that went to the States went to New York. I don't know what it is about New York. I've never been in New York a day in my life, but 99.9% of Dominicans go to New York. They do. All right. So if you want to meet Dominicans, go to New York. If you want to meet Hispanics, if you want to meet voluptuous women, if you want to look, if you want to meet women that are curvy and light skinned, I love light skin, long hair, thick red bone. And Lil Wayne said, I love long hair, thick red bone. Go to New York. And honestly, I'm not even suggesting go to New York. I suggest go to Miami, because Miami is one place I was with my girl, the woman that jumped on my back. Check out my narcissist playlist. Vanessa, excuse me. Miami is one place that I went and I could not keep my head still. You thought I was a bobblehead like this. I just could not keep pause. I could not keep my head still. It was just that many beautiful women. So option B for Sosúa. Man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Don't even worry about flying outside of America. Don't even worry about your passport. Don't worry about visas. Don't worry about Airbnbs, hotels. Right? Go to Miami. One day I'm gonna go to Miami, right? Not probably not this year. Definitely not this year. We're in September. Definitely not this year, but one day I'm gonna go to Miami because you're gonna have a hard time finding a fat woman in Miami. Passport bros, men, travelers, connoisseurs. You're gonna have a hard time finding an obese woman in Miami. I was in Miami for a couple of days. I did not find one obese. I don't think any obese woman lives in Miami. I'm gonna repeat that again. You're gonna have a hard time finding an obese woman in Miami. I don't think any obese women live in Miami. Miami is full of supermodels or people that think they're supermodels. But Miami has no obese women. I don't think there's any ugly people in Miami. I just don't. I don't think ugly people exist in Miami. I think you can't be ugly and live in Miami because everyone that I've seen, no matter what they were, looked like that. They looked amazing. They looked amazing. But if you insist on traveling, if you do insist on traveling, check out Miami. Check out some of these other countries. Right? I'm going to Brazil in next month. In the next month, I should be going to Brazil. Right, I'm gonna give y'all some great content. I'm gonna step it up a notch because I know what sells. Look, I go to these. I'm on YouTube. I see these thumbnails. If you see a woman on a thumbnail that looks provocative, you're gonna click on that thumbnail. Passport bros, men, travelers. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again. If you see a woman that looks provocative, you're gonna click on it. And that's how a lot of these people are getting these clicks and these views because as a single man or just a man that likes women, if you see a woman that looks provocative on a thumbnail, you're going to click on it. That's going to get your attention. So I gotta feed to the audience. I know what the audience wants. I know what the audience need. I know what's going to get the audience to click on my thumbnails. And that's something provocative. That's a woman. So I'm learning as I go, right? I'm not there yet, but I'm not far away, but I'm gonna get there. But Passport Bros, hit you again with another weekly Sosúa update. Hit you again with another weekly Sosúa update, right? Another one. People said it can get better, it can get changed. It didn't. So I'm looking for what's the next spot. I might do a video on what I think the next spot's gonna be or should be. But what's the next spot, right? What do you think about Sosúa? What do you think they have in store? What do you think is next? Let me know, guys. Let me know, girls. Let me know, women. Passport bros, listen, I don't know. Hopefully those that were going to Sosúa and spent some time in Sosúa, hopefully y'all had a good time, right? I was going to Sosúa back in the day. It was great. I think it got better over time. Back in the day, it was New Garden, right? My first time in Sosúa, if you know, it was New Garden. You go to New Garden, it's like a 2-story place, real cheap, real cheap. Go to New Garden, it's a 2-story spot. It's women everywhere, passport bros everywhere. It was just like you was in Las Vegas, right? One of those places in Las Vegas. That's how New Garden was. I haven't been there in a while. But if you're a budget traveler, right, and if Sosúa ever comes back, so check out New Garden, right? If you know, Passport Bro history. New Garden used to be like a very cheap, still is. I looked at it like not long ago. Very cheap place where you can go. There's a pool in the middle, right? There's women everywhere, right? Women everywhere. There's a little restaurant downstairs, a little bar. But if you know Passport Bro history. It's cheap, right? And you may or may not get any sleep, right? If you planning on getting sleep and you're going to New Garden, you might want to reconsider, right? Because it's some guy next door putting in work, pause, right? It's a lot of noise going on in New Garden at night, even during the day, right? There's a lot of noise going on. I'm just being honest, keeping it PG-13. There's a lot of noise going on at New Garden, right? It's like, I don't know, I can't explain it without being X-rated and explicit. There's a lot of noise going on at New Garden. All right, you're probably not going to get a lot of sleep. And I've seen dudes, they be on the balcony, they point to a girl, tell her come here, she comes upstairs, and they do what they do. That's how New Garden was. Like I said, I haven't been in a while, and I think some things never change. I don't know. It's been a while. But you could just came out on your balcony, right? I say balcony, but then like it's like you come out on the balcony. Like I said, it's 2 floors. You like used to be you better just point at a girl and say, "Come here," she come to your room. Or you on the balcony hanging off, looking, and you look downstairs and y'all make eye contact. You tell her come up, she come up. It was just that easy. New Garden, if you know, you know, right? I'm gonna tell you a story about New Garden. While we on this talk about Sosúa, I'm gonna tell you a story about New Garden, right? And I don't forget much. I was at New Garden, right? And I had met this girl, whatever. I wasn't really feeling her, but she was like hassling me, whatever the case may be, right? I'm like, man, I ain't trying to take her down. Like, she wasn't really my type. Passport bros, if you know, you know, right? So this girl came to my room, right? She sat on my bed, right? Oh, now, like, I was on the second floor, right? She sat on my bed, and she had like a hair on her teeth. She had a hair stuck between her teeth. And I'm not gonna tell you what kind of hair it was, but she had a hair stuck between her teeth. And I'm just looking at her like this, and she's talking, and she asked me questions, and I'm talking, and I just could not stop staring at that hair that was between her teeth. And you know what kind of hair I'm talking about. Passport bros, if you know, you know. Long story short, I ain't do nothing with her. She left, but she had someone's hair between her teeth from what she was doing with this. If you know, you know, passport bros, if you know, you know. So New Garden is like I said, I don't know, I ain't been there in a while, but it's crazy. But I'll say this, right? I will say this. I don't think that the best looking women in Sosúa go to New Garden and hang out by the pool, go there in their bikini, hang out at the bar, and wait for you to leave your hotel room or go to your hotel room to see them and tell them to come up with you. I don't think that New Garden has the best of Sosúa, right? Prior to what's going on in this video right now, right? And I'm just being honest. New Garden had some stuff there, but it wasn't like the best of Sosúa, right? It wasn't like the best woman that I've seen in Sosúa was just walking down the street. I'm just being honest. If you know, you know. But this is the latest Sosúa update. I'm gonna do one every week, so we'll do another one next week. If you know, you know, passport roles, let me know. Let's talk about.